Was the Blodgett home. You came here to process the scene.
Yes. It was a day off for me. My phone rang. It was my captain at the time saying that they had a suspicious death in the city of a young person. I parked, I walked around, I checked doors and windows and checked for anything that looked like forced entry or if there were going to be any problems. I didn't notice any of that. I walk into the house and I just kind of get an immediate feel of what we have here.
Where was Jessie found?
Jessie was found up in her bedroom.
Upstairs.
Upstairs.
So this was Jessie's room?
This was. We had taken video of her bedroom and I saw it was a normal young lady's bedroom. When I arrived up here, Jessie was laying in this general direction right here with her feet facing towards the door, her head right about in that direction. I learned subsequently that her mother got her removed from the bed because part of CPR is you want it on a hard surface. So her mother had moved her. I had immediately noticed the way that her head was tilted, you could see a faint ligature mark on the side of her neck. Pressure was applied to her neck via some type of ligature, and there was pressure applied from the back, which is something she couldn't have done.
Morning that summer to sleep in. They just had opening weekend on the late night cast party. So this Monday morning, she was pooped.
It was a typical morning for Jessie's mom. She walked into her room to drop off some laundry before she headed off to work.
Joy came home for lunch, called up to Jessie. No answer. She didn't think much of it. She called up to Jessie again, still no answer. And then she looks out the picture window while she's eating a quick lunch and she sees one of Jessie's 6-year-old students and her dad walking up our driveway. And so now she calls upstairs, Jessie, your lesson's here. And there's still no answer. So she runs upstairs and goes into Jessie's room. She goes over to her. She reaches out to wake Jessie up and Jessie's cold. I got the phone call that every parent fears. And Joy said, honey, it's Jessie. I came home and she's not responding. And she said, the EMTs are here. And I said, hon, is she, and then I didn't want to say the word. So I said, gone. Is she gone?
Murdered in her home. It took a jury less than 3 hours to convict Daniel Bartelt of killing Jessie Blodgett. Charles Benson is live in the newsroom. Charles.
Justice for Jessie, said Hartford's police chief tonight, but after the verdict, Jessie's father made it clear no one won today. Jessie Blodgett's love for music and passion for teaching captured the hearts of many in Hartford.
It seemed like she was very talented, had a bright future ahead of her. It's very tragic that she was taken the way she was.
Like many here, the Kumars have been following the case. The verdict, any surprises?
No surprises for the verdict. I think we all kind of knew.
It's been 13 months since Jessie was found strangled to death in her own home. For 7 days, prosecutors lined up the evidence against her high school friend, Daniel Bartelt.
It's not a good day for anybody.
For Jessie's father, the verdict does not bring joy or satisfaction, but a tremendous amount of sadness and sympathy for the killer's parents.
Nobody won. Dan's family is a beautiful family who provided a loving environment. They're great people. I feel horrible for them today.
Bartelt's lawyer said the evidence didn't add up, but he agreed it was a tragedy for both families.
I just have compassion for both the Blodgett family and the Bartelt family for the very, very difficult ordeal that they've been through.
Bartelt will be sentenced in October. He faces life in prison. He also still faces charges of attacking another woman just days before Jessie's murder.
And I believe there's some tissues up there.
Laura Bartelt had to fight back tears. She testified that her son and Jessie Blodgett had been friends, but she was troubled to find out that her son had lied about having a job and had carried out an elaborate hoax pretending to go to work every day.
When you found that out from law enforcement that your son didn't have a job, were you surprised?
Yes.
Why were you surprised?
Because he was leaving every day and don't know where else he would have been going.
But when questioned by the defense, Laura Bartelt admitted it was in her son's nature to be a bit of a liar.
Was Dan a kid who would lie to you often as he was growing up?
Well, yes.
From time to time?
Time to time.
Despite the lies, his mother believes she would have sensed if Dan was lying to her about Jessie's death.
You're his mom. Would you expect that you'd notice things if there were unusual behaviors in Dan?
Sure.
The image of Daniel Bartelt, accused murderer, simply doesn't compute for those who knew him.
He was a good guy. He was always joking around. He was a nice guy, so I was pretty surprised.
Dylan Teal and Dan Bartelt were half of their high school band, the Angry Pillows. Did you ever see him have a temper or any violence? Or?
No, not really. I mean, he was always really in a good mood when I was around him. He was always joking around. I mean, if there was any like violence, it was just messing around. Yeah. You know, so couldn't even see this coming, really.
We've learned the case started to unravel when police caught Bartelt in a lie. According to the criminal complaint, Bartelt told police and his family that he worked here at Roll Air Systems in Houston. But when we came here to find out what kind of an employee he was, they told us he's never worked here. When Hartford police told Bartelt's parents that he'd never been going to work at all, his dad told them that apparently lies have been very easy for Dan lately. So unlike Dan that his attorney questions Bartelt's mental competency. Though he's not representing Bartelt, criminal defense attorney Jonathan Smith says it's rare that a client can't understand the process.
Competency means that they lack the mental capacity to either understand the proceedings or to assist in their own defense.
A mental health exam will take place over the next month while Bartelt remains jailed. Now, if he's found not competent to stand trial, he would likely receive inpatient mental treatment until he could stand trial, Craig, but that doctor's report is due back next month for a hearing.
I can't give you the answers that you're looking for. You say how you count the days and the hours, and I do too. I have every day. There's no hiding from yourself in a tiny concrete cell. I have a disgustingly innate ability to lie to myself that I have exercised far too many times in my life. But I refuse to hurt someone other than myself by doing that. This jumpsuit that I'm wearing, these shackles that I'm put in, don't make me guilty. And I know there's evidence that